you guys are considered safe. You can mark yourself on Facebook now. Hey, you know that's a great way to reset yourself, I guess. Wait, where's the other thing that I... That sounds fair. Don't be upset. Oh, did it? Yeah, it happens. You know, we get... That does sound fair. Oh, does it all sound fair? Oh, well, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and go because my voice is going, so you know that's the joys of all of these things. Wow, who's crunching? Who's crunching with his freaking nachos? I swear. Well, you know,
none in the games.
Captain Crunching, yes, Parrish, Captain Crunching. Look at all of us. We're so many hooligans. There are 8 hooligans because I had to.
And you're a single chaperone about to take us all on a field trip.
Oh no.
Okay. Let's go break shit.
I need an adult. And we're all gonna have to use the restroom at different times.
Yeah.
No.
We specifically drinking Cokes at different times.
You get 2. That's it. 2 restroom breaks. That's it. You're gonna have to hold it because that's all this.
Some of us are having sugar highs.
I think. Let's see. I'm trying to think who would I pick for like teacher's favorite to kind of help me watch the kids. It'd probably be Iskra. Oh heck no. Renan and Kindred.
What did I do?
No.
To be fair, I was teacher's pet all throughout high school.
You were a teacher's pet all throughout high school? Listen, we're not going to go into that story about how you became the teacher's pet. That teacher still needs his job. Thank you.
Excuse me, guys. I'll be back. I'm driving to Santos.
Gonna go beat up Aaron. Go ahead.
Yeah, for
go
me,
ahead.
It depended on the teacher.
Right? Okay. Well, we're not going down that route. Anyhow,
don't encourage.
Parrish, thank you for your gift subs. That's very awesome of you. For all of your kindness in hanging out with us in our last game of the year. Isn't that crazy? A couple of days and it's all over.
I didn't even think about that.
This is our last game for 2020. So, you know, we're planning some really awesome stuff. And by
2020's final surprise is that 2020 is going to happen again.
Yeah, no.
Don't do that. Please, God, don't do that.
Countdown to New Year's, booming voice erupts across the planet. Round 2, start.
Yeah, that would be pretty on point. I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are the exciting things that we have planned?
We have a game of D&D that is about to happen. That's what's exciting.
We have a birthday.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah, we're not.
Whose birthday?
Do you not recall the great tiara massacre of January 2020, in which one kindred did not take his birthday tiara off for that whole month? Remember, because he kept showing up to the game. This was back when we were gaming at home, and he was like, "It's my birthday," and he came in with a tiara. And then the next week, "It's my birthday." I was like, "No, that was last week." And he goes, "I'm gonna wear it all month." And he wore the tiara all month. You did it at work, didn't you? You were
I was
wearing
about
it
to
at
say,
work.
that's where it came from. One of my coworkers legit bought me a real tiara, not like one of those plastic shits, like full on metal tiara.
That's amazing.
And I'm probably the only one that could get away with it. I wore it all day in a medical professional office, seeing patients.
I love it.
Yes.
And it wasn't a Halloween or holiday. I was just like, it's my birthday.
And
Every
everybody
day,
just let it happen. They just
Yeah.
For the past
And
month.
then like I didn't even realize it. I just kind of got used to it. And are we live?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've been
Yeah,
live.
Oh yes, 100% we are live. I am so glad that everybody has heard the story. Do you want to continue?
Oh no, just because
Why are you so shocked?
I may
Oh.
perform surgery or some
Wearing a tiara. Life goals.
Wow. Well, you can knock that off of your list of things I have done in my life
Mm-hmm.
Tiara while
while
performing.
doing things,
Mm,
medical
yes.
things.
I
Oh
didn't hear
Lord.
anything.
Yeah, you heard nothing. Don't
I
worry.
heard nothing.
Nobody heard.
There's
Anything.
interference in my camera or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just me grinding. I don't know why that makes that noise. Anyway, all right. So no, not that noise. Who did that? Who did that? I'm watching you. Anyway,
I didn't do nothing.
I didn't do nothing. All right. Well, now that we have gotten to this point, Shelby, thank you. All right. Now that we got to this point and we are way behind, but let's go ahead and go. And we'll start with our lovely intro and jump right in to
wanna see
tonight's
it.
episode of Game of Santos. Yay! All right. Dope.
Sander, I'm so proud of you for that song you wrote.
Thank you.
It's really,
Yeah,
really.
Yay,
It
Sander.
fits.
Yay.
It fits. It's
The Last
perfect.
of Us, that style, that sadness, but also
Yeah.
the mystery. I don't know, that kind of feel that tone.
Yeah. No, it was
I
good.
love that song.
It was a great job. Great job. All
I
right.
wanna
T.
show you
Shuey
all
needs
the
to have you on Song
full
Explorer for
version.
it.
Okay. So, last we left off on Game of Santos. Yeah, I know. The Brigade of 8 had successfully fought off Gabriel Frostborn and Winoth, the great white dragon, as you and others in a large rebellion slash uprising here in the city of Silvery Moon had successfully taken over the various Red Wizard barracks and pushed them out of the city, making them flee to the north, with the aid of the Wizards of Evermore, a band of magic users that had been taking in refugees from this war, that hail from the swampy region of Evermore, as well as the Knights of the Living Order, a mysterious group of druidic-like knights that have been traveling around and doing good and helping wherever they can, especially within this conflict. Kind of more on the low-key side, have now come forward and have sided with those that are trying to fight back against the Thayan Empire as they slowly take over the entirety of the Sword Coast and move eastwards towards their home front. While they're trying to chase after some of those who had fled, that's the right word, who had fled, Sybil and Galil had gone on Ensel had gone on a recon mission to the north of the city. About 45 miles to the north, near the mountain ranges, and have found what appears to be a Thayan rally point, located in an old abandoned quarry, where there is a large, what looks like a teleportation circle that has been painted into the side of this quarry, and seems to be the point where the Thayans have brought in their reinforcements before when they were taking over the city. Seeing that they were apparently vastly outnumbered with the 30 to 50 tents, not wild pigs, but 30 to 50 tents that were found there. They sent Sol as well as their escort back to the city of Silvery Moon to try and gain some reinforcements in order to see what they can do to stop any further reinforcements from being brought in for the Thayans, that they might retake the city. We also had then Kindred, Aloquin, Sonder, and Iskra, who had ventured into the underbelly of the Vault of Sages, the old mage training school there within Silvery Moon, looking for anything that might help them with the destruction of that teleportation circle, or how maybe they could use it against the Empire itself. While they had been down there exploring around, Aloquin and Kindred had kind of heard some strange things, and there was some very odd sensations going on in the underbelly, in this dungeon, this underground cave, if you will, system that is below under the Vault of Sages. And your Thayan scribe that had been convinced to kind of join up with you guys had been down there as well. You had found a hidden passageway that led you into a room that seemed to contain the lost mythal of Silvery Moon, a device that had before been used to keep fire magic from being cast within the city, now apparently has been used to keep divination magic from being used within the city. And as they had discovered this device, their Thayan scribe, in a sense of awe, had walked forward and towards this large shining blue and white crystal, only to be disintegrated into little bits of ash as she had touched an apparent trap that had been set around this mythal itself. And I believe that it's about where we left off. Galil had tried to use, or did use, one of his newfound abilities as trying to foresee what possible futures might lie in store for them, and had seen these like shifting images of the ship and the tent and rally point blowing up in the explosion, as well as seeing the city of Silvery Moon in one hand being there, and then in another moment consumed in a brilliant ball of white fiery light, leaving nothing behind in its wake. So, being that that's where we left off, we are going to jump around a little bit in time to earlier that day, where Renan had been outside in the courtyard looking over the remains of the great white dragon Winoth, as those of the Wizards of Evermore had started to kind of finish butchering the dragon, trying to use its hide and bones and meat and stuff. And as you were standing there, you are approached by a individual in a cloak, not too terribly suspicious, but still strange enough that as he comes up, it catches your attention and just kind of sidles up next to you there. Let me do the right thing here. Excuse me. Can try to get your attention.
Good day.
Do you have a moment, Knight?
Of course. Always a moment to spare. Nothing but time.
He extends a wrist out, and you see on his wrist the similar marking that you have as one of the Knights of Silvery Moon, or Knights of Silver Moon, I should say. But this one has flowing script that goes further down his arm and kind of starts wrapping around in like this elaborate scroll work that kind of just wraps around his wrist. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
I am on the wrong page.
It happens.
That is a 19.
19? Looking over this child, it would seem, he's a rather, maybe late teens, half orc, as he kind of pushes his hood back a little bit. You see these bright, dazzling blue eyes. And he just kind of nods to you as he kind of looks down at your wrist as well, and he sees that you kind of make that the connection there. He's like, if you wouldn't mind, would you follow me?
Of course.
Kind of looking about, he turns and starts walking back towards the school.
I get up and follow.
Let's see here. As you follow, as he goes up to the door, you can see the door that is open that you guys had entered in through. He shuts it as he gets up to it, inserts what looks like a little key, switches the lock, turns it in the lock, and opens the door again. And you can see that beyond is there's it's like a brilliant white light. And he kind of gestures for you to enter.
I check my surroundings briefly and walk through the door.
All right. As you do so and walking into the door, oh shit. The music kind of went bananas. Hold on. As you do so, you die. Just kidding.
No way.
That was
One down.
Yeah, I'm just gonna slowly work my way through and just knock out everybody. This is how we bring the campaign to a close
Yeah,
on
Happy New
2020.
Year.
Happy New Year, everybody! Everyone's dead by the end. Let's see. As you pass through, you're immediately hit with this like burst of cool, refreshing air, like the kind of fresh air that you would breathe in at the top of the tallest mountain. Something that would remind you very much of your home. And as you pass through, you hear the door closing behind you, and there is no door any longer. Instead, let's see here. We'll go with. Instead, you see laid out before you this large stone circle of almost like a platform that sits on cloud. And you can feel this cool air, this constant breeze that rustles past you, and the thinness of the air and its invigorating sense of just pure freedom. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
I'm glad I'm good at these.
Bracket down and away from the TV.
That is 26.
26? All right. So as you glance about, you can see in this small stone shape that is sitting here on this cloud. And you can see far beyond to the horizon this setting sun that as you are standing there and kind of walk further onto this platform, it doesn't seem to move. It just seems to be forever in this set of like in the process of setting. Casting these brilliant oranges, pinks, and red hues across the sky. And this reminds you very much of some sort of a place that you probably had seen before in your dreams even. It's just, it's breathtaking, if you will. The clouds that kind of roil around these edges are fluffed and seem to be reflecting the light of the sun. And as you step to the edge and kind of peer down below, you can see even more clouds, but these roil with a darkness and an energy of like a tempestuous storm down below. You can see little brief flashes of lightning that crackle and flash, and the deep, deep, low rumble of distant thunder. The air smells heavily of ozone now and rain. And you can see there in the
just kind of bask in it.
in the very, very center of this, you see a small reflecting pool of water.
I approach the pool.
Okay. So you approach the pool of water, you kind of peer over it, and you can see your reflection. And then you notice movement across the pool from you, and you see another reflection approach. And as you look up to it, there is another Avariel standing before you. And
Blessings be unto you, unto the sky.
The woman nods her head. And to you, are you one of the knights as well?
Indeed.
She raises her wrist, and you can see that same symbol on her wrist there. My name is Varys. Well, I thought I was the only one of our kind. You can see her wings kind of like flutter a little nervously, and they kind of shift behind her, almost out of sight.
The only one of our kind. You were alone.
Well, at least for some time I have been. I was summoned here by a being of 6 wings. I was given a task that I completed, and now I was brought back here. Were you on something similar? Or have you done something similar?
Indeed. A world full of chaos and dragons.
You can see her face darkens as you say dragons. And she's like, so you were sent after dragons as well? Did you succeed in your task?
With one at least, yes. And I pull out a dragon's tooth.
She kind of like peers over, but doesn't seem to want to get any closer. She's just kind of like stretching out over the pond to kind of to look at you. That is fortunate. I am afraid I was not so fortunate with my task. And I had supposed I had been brought here to face judgment.
Face judgment from Hirsonos for a crime you didn't commit. Never.
As I said, his name is Hirsonos. I do not know his name.
He is a god that all of Ariel were to worship, once upon a time.
Variel. I was taught that those people had been just long destroyed. Hence why I was surprised to see you. As I said, I thought I was the last of my kind.
We are many in other lands.
That is good to know, I suppose. So this Hersonos is not one to cast judgment quickly, I hope?
No, Hirsonos wishes only to pass judgment on those who are innocent of a crime. The judgment is that they should be free.
I hope I do not upset him then. He would seem very powerful. And I did not want to be the last and the only one of our kind and fail him so that he would destroy me and all our people would be gone. I suppose now, if I know that there are others, then whatever he decides, I will do my best to abide by that. Is this normally where you meet him? She kind of looks around at at the place that you find yourself in now.
It's a little different every time.
She kind of, her attention seems focused elsewhere for a moment. She looks at you and just, I think, and as she like was about to finish her sentence, she fades away in a cloud-like form that just kind of dissipates in the air. You hear this crackle of thunder out from below, that you see this lightning bolt that just kind of crackles up into the sky and smacks right into the edges of this platform where you are at. I'm normally way more ready about it than this, but there we go. And it just like echoes down. I was like, I couldn't find the right button. And in that moment, you find yourself in the presence of the same individual you had spoken to what seems like so long ago, the six-winged figure of Hirsonos himself.
Lord of Tempest.
He looks over at you slowly and bows his head. It has been some time.
Indeed. Centuries.
Not that much time. You were only there for what? A few days, I believe it was?
Well, I haven't seen you in person in at least one.
Fair enough. I assume that your mission was a success then.
I hold out the dragon's tooth. Indeed.
Excellent. In that case, your task is complete. If you wish to return home, you are free to do so.
And if I were to wish to return to where I have come from just now, there is still chaos there. And I'm certain there are still dragons.
The kind that should be hunted down.
The kind that shouldn't stain any world with their presence.
Then you may return to this place. And perhaps I will send you aid soon. Keep an eye out for your new acquaintance. She has much to learn of your ways. She's been lost for a long time.
Perhaps one day she may return Peruvian as well.
If she wishes it. Once the choice is hers to make, she is free to do so. Now, I think it is time for you to return. Your allies are looking for you.
Many thanks, Lord.
He, for that moment, kind of bows, and you feel this like strong gust of wind swirling about you, and the cloud that kind of sits at the edges of the stone area swirl onto the pedestal itself and start swirling up and forming a another doorway that kind of, as the cloud kind of falls all the way to the side, reveals this like intricately carved stone portal. He gestures towards it. Then
I
go.
will see you again.
He nods, and in that same way that Varys had dissipated into smoke, just for a moment he is there, and then the smoke kind of just carries him off. Or the cloud, not smoke, but you know what I meant.
I take in another moment of the scenery and here we go. And I walk through the portal.
The portal. As you walk through the portal, you find yourself surrounded in cloud. Still the same kind of light cascades around you, but you are now, as you had taken that step through, you have one step, a second step, and on that second step, you just feel yourself free falling towards the ground. And for a moment, you're just like surrounded in clouds as the wind whistles past you. And then as you extend your wings, just as you reach the bottom of that cloud, you find yourself flying high above over a setting sun, and down below you can see silvery moon in the distance.
Can I see any of the party members?
Well, you're currently like almost probably about a mile in the sky, so no. But you can make a perception check.
We're little ants to him.
You all look like little ants.
As you should be. What?
That would be a 23.
23. Okay. So as you glance about, you can see that the city below, there does seem to be some movement here and there. Is like a couple of what look like maybe perhaps pyres that are set up on the outside of the city where they are burning the dead. But you assume it's close to nightfall, and you are free to go wherever you choose.
I dive towards the city.
Okay. Any particular place that you are headed towards?
Wherever the last place is that I interacted with any of the party members.
Okay, so probably the Vault of Sages. You're able to recognize that on the south bank of the city and fly towards that direction. Excellent. Once you do manage to land, you can see that there are a number of people on, or once you get closer to it, you can see that leaving from the Vault of Sages, there are a number of individuals on these large, almost like horse-sized cats with these tusks that curve upwards. You can see various people that are like, there's like 2 or 3 per each of these creatures, and they're just riding north out of the city as you are approaching it.
And do I recognize any of them?
One you would recognize as Soul, but the others you have not seen before. You recognize most of the others as some of the knights and the wizards of Evermore, judging by their garb.
And how fast does it look like they're moving?
Pretty quick. They're headed north at the moment.
Okay. Do I feel like I can catch up to them if I fly towards them?
Oh yeah, easily enough.
Then I'll change course towards them.
Okay. You can see one of the knights. He kind of turns his head the closer you get, and whispers something, and the word gets around that you are like kind of flying close. Eventually, you hear Soul, what was his name? Pierre, the one that was riding with you. He looks back over his shoulder and looks up, and then kind of gestures behind him. He's like, "Is that one of yours?"
Yes.
So yeah, Renan, you gotta fly on pace with Soul as they're like moving north very quickly. What are you guys doing?
I'll ask the writer, Pierre, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pierre, do you mind if we slow down just a little bit?
Sure, I guess. And he kind of whistles out to the others, and your whole little troop kind of slows down. You are traveling with 8 others at the moment. But go ahead. So they kind of slow down, allowing Renan to kind of to stop and land for a moment.
So, it's good to see you.
Renan, where have you been?
If I told you in the sky, would that be enough?
Well, answer me this then. Which one of our friends would you want to punch in the face? And I imagine this one would also like to punch you in the face too.
Well, it's certainly not going to be Kindred. I've already punched him. I suppose Galil.
Okay, you are Renan. Yes. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, well, how much do you know of what we are doing?
I haven't the foggiest. The last I did, I was healing some of the fallen soldiers, and then I had returned to the Vault of Sages to re-examine the dragon. That's all I know.
Okay, well, we are going to a giant portal where the enemy is, lots and lots of enemies. We don't know too much more than that, but we have to stop this portal.
Well, if there's any of it made of stone, I can bring it down.
Well, okay, then good. Come along then. Do you need a ride or your wings work fine?
I think I'll carry myself.
Okay. Pierre, if you don't mind, let us get started again.
Pierre he nods and just like, right, and whistles loudly again with his fingers, and the whole troop starts heading north once again. And
Renan, try to keep a low profile.
Right, the elf with the 15-foot wingspan gives nothing away.
Time to clip them off.
Going to burn you with hellfire.
Oh my god. Okay. So, let's see here.
I think.
All right. As you guys continue to head north, we'll go ahead and switch over to Kindred, Aliquin, Iskra, and Sonder as you stand before the giant glowing crystal, having just watched Lucia vanish before. No! I was wondering who was going to be the first one to crack it. Now we know. All right.
I'm gonna like.
Are we sure she was a wizard? She didn't.
She never said she was a wizard.
No, I'm like asking sarcastically to the others.
Oh.
She just vanished. Just dust.
You can see the outer circle that is surrounding the stone is like glowing, and it slowly fades.
Kindred, what happened to her?
She went poof.
Did she teleport?
Is this
No.
a teleportation stone?
No. How big is it? Like, is it floating in front of us? How big is this crystal?
It's about I'm gonna say it's about 10 feet tall from top to bottom, and just floats about 2 or 3 feet off the ground.
Is there any way to
And-
save her?
You said she stepped within like a certain ring, so there's like a ring, a visible perimeter on the floor.
Yes, there's a visible perimeter on the floor, and there's 3 concentric circles that go closer and closer.
Okay, and as soon as she touched the outer ring, poof.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk close, about 3 feet away from it. So I'll be like, obviously, no one wants to touch this circle.
She just touched it and then she just exploded.
Yes, so don't touch it until
Why
we
did
figure out.
nobody say anything?
I tried to, but she just kept walking. And I didn't know that was gonna happen. I mean, I know missiles are powerful, but I didn't plan for that.
Well,
I'm just
save
standing
her
there
soul.
like completely frozen with my mouth wide open.
You can still see some of the little ashes are just like now falling to the ground and like landing around.
Are there any rocks anywhere on the ground?
Make a perception check.
A 17.
Yes, there are a couple of rocks, nothing like probably bigger than your fist. So everything's kind of like little pieces, and they're scattered about at the edges of this chamber.
Wait, before you throw that, don't let me back up.
Well, I'm holding it like this, like.
Let me back away from the circle.
I'm not actually. Okay, I'm actually not trying to like hit it completely. I'm just gonna like throw it. I flick it to see what happens.
And I'm
Just
gonna
like-
back way back.
Okay, so
Seeing Kindred do that, I'm also gonna move back.
I'm like right there, just flick.
alrighty. So as you flick it, you just like you hear it echo loudly as it hits the ground and kind of bounces down under the stone and kind of passes like tick, 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 goes past, but nothing happens.
So I don't think it's a force field, or was she trying? Did she actually touch the stone?
She touched it.
She touched the stone. I grab another pebble.
Hold on. None of you.
And I flick it straight to the.
Hold up. She just died. Can we have a moment of silence, please, for her?
As I cast Gust.
I get down to my knees.
Oh no, you horrible person.
Oh my god.
You basically just swept up her ashes and was like, threw it over your shoulder. No.
like a handful of salt.
So the second pebble that I flick actually hits the stone. What happens?
You see it like, it almost echoes in the way it crashes off the edges of it. It makes that weird, how do I put it? You know, whenever you hit like frozen ice over a lake, have you ever heard that weird like sound of it just like it echoes?
Like a bug zapper?
Yeah, almost. Okay, that's almost what it does, but the rock doesn't disintegrate or anything. It just bounces and reflects off of it, but it seems to cause this echoing sound cascading up and down the length of this glowing stone.
So after he's done throwing things at it, can I try to do an Arcana check to see if I can remember anything about it, even though I never was in contact with it, just hearing rumors or anything?
About this particular one?
Yes.
Sure.
What? Oh.
And he summons a demon.
Oh,
Demon roll initiative, please.
Oh my gosh.
I was praying for her soul.
Aww.
So I have advantage when doing Arcana checks relating to Fae or devils. This wouldn't be Fae territory, right? Okay.
Mm-mm.
So then I got 19.
19?
Mm-hmm.
As best as you could remember from the one here in Silvery Moon, it was used generally as a warding stone. It kept the magic of the fire from being used within the city limits. It also powered what was called the Moon Bridge, which acted as like the gateway between the south bank and the north bank. So it was almost like this semi-translucent opal-colored bridge that would cross the river, and that's how people got back and forth without having to use the ferry system. But since the Red Wizards had taken over, the Mythal had been moved from its location and had not been seen. That much you had learned from over the last couple of months from getting messages from Hibby and such, that nobody knew where it was hidden at. So now it seems to be doing something similar, but that's about all that you know of it, since you weren't directly related. You knew that the High Mage here at the Vault of Sages that kind of oversaw all of the schools, because there were several like subsections of the school here. The High Mage had the means to, or the knowledge on how to alter or change or control it. But she only passed that knowledge on to the next High Mage whenever it was time.
And would I know who that High Mage was?
Yes, give me a second. The last High Mage was Lady Illustrial Silverhand.
Okay, can you spell that? Can you use it in a sentence?
Illustrial is Alustriel, and then silver.
Ustri.
Silverhand. Silverhand.
And now can you tell me the origin?
Oh my gosh.
It's Elven.
Is there a J in there?
Fucking elves.
Yeah.
Only by an owl?
KH.
Siljar.
Yes.
John.
Okay.
I kind of like look at Kindred, be like, so what is it?
Well, it's obviously a mythal, but if this is the mythal, which I'm sure it is, I know the high mages had knowledge of how to directly move it and how to work it and to their will. The last high mage I remember was Illustrial Silverhand, but I don't. Actually, you know what? Let's check up on her. But how's what's your little imps? Varric? Valak?
Valak?
That one of those names.
Wow.
Is Valak okay? Is he still there?
I mean, I assume so. I'm gonna. Do you want me to summon him here?
No,
I mean,
no,
he's out.
How far away is it? Like down that little hallway? Can we just like? It's not that hard to go check really quick.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I just want to go check before I start like trying to do rituals and stuff, and then something just sneaks up on us.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I asked him to look. No, you know what? Hang on. I'm gonna turn around and walk to go see if he's still there.
All right.
Because last I remembered, he was watching.
Right.
And I'm just gonna kind of away from the rings, away from the mythal, just kind of get a little area to sit my stuff down and go through my bag and just wait for Aloquin to come back.
All right. So as you go over there to look down the little cramped cut in the wall, basically, that leads from this hidden chamber to what had once been Amaranth's little secret lair, if you will. You can see pacing back and forth, probably going like 2 feet and then going back another 2 feet and then going back another 2 feet. The small imp Vlak, his wings still extended in this, like trying to make himself look big and menacing. And then he goes back and starts patrolling back the other direction. As you kind of poke your head around, you see his head go just like snap back around to look at you, and he just bares these little fangs. Then he goes back to walking in his little patrol, just peering out in the darkness.
Have you seen anything at all?
No, master, I have not seen anything.
I like kind of like glance, just see if I see anything, and then I'm going. You're doing great, Black.
Master's pleased with me. Black does good job.
And he goes back to like waddling his little walk.
I'm gonna go back over to Kindred.
Is he alive?
Oh yeah, he's doing a great job out there.
Okay. Well then, now that that's checked up on, I'm going to pull out my orb. And there we go. And
is there any dust ashes left on the floor?
They're scattered
There's
about
some.
all
They're
over.
scattered about a little bit, yeah.
Did you really cast Gust?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. I mean, she has to learn to paint with all the colors of the wind.
Oh Jesus!
Oh no! You did not! Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh, no.
I mean, I don't know whether to
Look at
give
my
you like,
background.
I don't know whether to give you inspiration for how clever that was, or like disadvantage for life for how horrible of a person you are. This person just died, and you just scatter. I mean, you scattered her ashes. Yeah, you just basically sneezed, and then there went Lucia all over the room.
Oh wow!
Did I get a chance to see which ruins were on the ground whenever it like zapped?
Oh, the outer circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole circle lit up whenever her foot touched it.
Oh,
Kindred, what do you think if we like shot an arrow at the crystal?
You
Do we
saw-
die? Will we explode?
You're welcome to find out, but I
no,
am going
okay. Take
to
step
ask
backs.
the person who can control this, if you give me a minute. As I like kind of get comfortable and pull out my orb, I would like to try to scry on Alastriel's silver hand.
Okay. Are you like just sitting down doing this with like your
Yeah.
little orb?
Yeah,
I need to
kinda,
get like
went
an
and
orb.
made like a little comfortable spot.
We need to get
Crisscross
you.
applesauce.
We need to get you like a hamster wheel or something.
A
We
fushigi.
a painted hamster wheel to use as your orb there. So as you do that, nothing happens.
Do I get the sense like it was blocked or nothing, like she might be dead?
Like there is no connection between you and the
duh.
orb.
Divination, duh. Well, I'm an idiot.
Didn't you say the same thing with me about casting detect magic in the hallway back there?
Dang.
Yeah, but that's because I thought you were gonna waste spell slots.
Oh no, obviously no, because. So what do we do with it?
Well, we know it's here.
And we know no one can touch it.
Perhaps we could bring Beck and the other wizards to see if you could pull off another one of these mythos.
Well, what about the Red Wizards, the Thans? They had prisoners, right? Are there any other people who actually attended this school, came here to the vault, that would know more about it, other than you, because you've been gone for a while, Kindred?
That's the thing is
no
the
offense
actual
about your
people
intelligence.
were kind of scattered all over since the attack, so it's it would be hard to find them.
I wish Lazaro was still here.
Right.
He would probably know.
Lucia and the other wizard
Didn't
that
you have a
was
piece
here.
of him?
They seem. Huh?
Wait, what now? What happened?
Go ahead, Sonder. You go.
Yeah, you.
What were you gonna say, Sonder? Oh,
Can I
you.
finish?
Wizards that we had interrogated, they said that
For
Oh, no. Sonder stepped in the circle.
Sonder, yeah, we can hear barely.
Hurry up and get home so we can hear you.
Sonder is not driving on the highway. Sonder is riding passenger on the highway right now.
Drive safe.
As he is getting back home. But yeah, no, we can try it one more time.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good.
Shut up. The worst. All right, what are you saying? I think he's gone. I think we might have to get back to
no!
Sonder. Sonder has suddenly developed this strange silence, and he just cannot seem to talk.
He's just
he's
so torn
buffering.
up over me just casting her ashes.
This is true. This is true.
Maybe some got in his mouth and he's like trying to like keep from coughing and
Okay.
trying to hold it in too much.
Like dust from his friend who just died. Yeah.
I was gonna say that.
I don't know if he's actually talking or we're just
Some
taking
of
time.
the
No,
No.
No.
no. It's all right. It's all right, Sonder. We'll get to this back to you in a minute.
So
Why don't you send what you're wanting to say to one of the others, and then they can read it back here in a minute.
So Kindred,
Whoa.
the only thing I didn't really think of is like Lazaro, I guess the person that gave me the scroll possibly might know something. If he's
Yes.
still here or even
didn't
alive,
you-
I guess.
Didn't you have a piece of him, or the book was part? Didn't you have a piece of his hair or something? I don't know why I'm thinking that.
I don't think so. No, all I have is just the scroll that he gave me.
Can I see that scroll? Do you mind?
Yeah. Hang on. So pull it out and
I just want to check. Do I find like a random piece of piece of hair. That is not Aliquin's. That's not Vidalkin.
I don't think I have hair.
I know, that's why it's like, wait, I like that weird.
Bald.
The scroll itself is kind of like
I know,
fleshy
leatherish.
though, right? So maybe
Make
it's
it-
got its
make-
own hair.
Ooh. Make an investigation check.
Investigation. 18.
Okay, 18.
Mm-hmm.
Looking over it, there's not a lot of hair on it. There is some like really, really fine on the very back of the scroll itself. There is some very fine, like almost like peach fuzz kind of hair on it.
That's
And,
good.
as you touch, like as you kind of rub your finger over it, kind of like wondering if it's like just your imagination, you can see it almost gets like goosebumps.
Ugh. Ugh.
I just hand it back. Okay. Nope, didn't find it. Nope.
Okay.
But I just realized that would have been divination anyway, so I can't contact him.
Oh.
But
You guys hear me?
Yes.
mhm.
Oh, I sent a thing in the text.
Oh, okay. What did you say? I didn't see it.
Some of the interrogated were cooperative.
You have to
and
say
didn't
it
seem
like
very
him.
Loyal. So I can't do Russian.
Some of the interrogated were cooperative and didn't seem very loyal in the Athenian Empire. Perhaps we could get some of them to assist.
Is that Katya?
Perfect.
No way. Duh.
Well, duh.
Congrats.
Double vodka to you too.
That sounds so good right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh
And
my
he
god.
says he's
That
not
was
white.
good.
Hey.
So,
I'm having second thoughts about getting
What's
help
the
from
vodka?
Evans.
I'd rather not
Vodka.
have the enemy be able to cast or handle a mythal.
Asking them questions about their forces to the north and the portal was one thing, but yeah, we didn't expect to find this.
Yeah.
We could keep it a secret for now and come back. We have the power.
You don't think we can move it, do you?
I wouldn't attempt
No?
it. I mean, if you think of a way to get within the perimeter and not turning to dust.
What about deactivating these runes? Maybe that's what we should focus on first.
I mean, maybe like, I don't know, dispel.
Spell magic.
Exactly. Like,
Trying
Not-
to dispel a mythal?
Don't
That's
know.
like trying
I mean,
to
we could
shut
try
down
it.
an entire city.
Well, are they powered by the mythal itself? Is that what got her? Or is it their rings in the ground?
or is the rings just protecting the actual mythal itself?
Can I go investigate the rings and see if it's all connected or if it's like mythal and then
Maybe some of the druids will know how to
Make
fix this
a
myth.
make a investigation check. I don't know. Yeah, that was
Can I help out with this? I don't know much
Investigation,
about
guys.
magic, so
sure.
26.
$26. Are you gonna do 1-2, Iskra?
I just wanted to boost kindred.
Oh,
if
okay.
Needed.
Well,
do it
I mean, you
then?
can in this one. I mean, you know more magic, but you can still do your own investigation check to see if you missed something.
Just 11.
Okay. You, Iskra, like as you're looking as closely as you can from a comfortably safe distance, not wanting to get too close to these things. You can tell that these runes are not, whereas a lot of like magic circles that you have seen, even some of the ones that you are familiar with within the Simic Combine itself, they're usually painted or used like with chalk or something that are marked. these runes are actually carved into the stone floor itself. And this is something that both of you would notice, but you notice this for sure. These are very permanent styled etchings of this runic circle that goes in. And there's about a 1.5 to 2 feet of distance between each ring as it goes into the center. And the very center one probably covers a space of like about 4 feet. Is like the smallest circle is 4 feet across.
What
And
does
then-
the rest of the room look like? Does it seem like it was designed to hold this? From my reckoning, anyway.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check. Kindred, as you were looking over these runes, you can see that these are separate things. There's no marking that seems to indicate that one ring is connected to the next one or connected to the next one. And even from this distance, as you're looking at the smallest ring that kind of sits almost directly below the floating stone itself, there is nothing that seems to indicate that it is connected to what floats above it. They just seem to be set into the ground itself. And you would have noticed that.
Around it.
And you would have noticed that as well, that these are not just painted on or, drawn on there at all. These are actually carved into the ground, and the runes lines themselves they almost have like this black inky layer to them. Go ahead,
That's a
boy.
19 on my perception.
19? Okay. So you do see that the room kind of has a very similar look to the passageway that you found. So the passageway was kind of carved, almost like someone had taken the rock and just kind of split it, basically, into it makes like there's like the top part doesn't really form a circular top. It just kind of cracks, like it's just split from the bottom, almost like curtains parting, right?
Okay.
So then once you get into this room, it's still a lot bigger, obviously, but it still has that same like earth split kind of look. Not so much carved or made, but almost as if like someone had pushed the rocks aside.
Right.
It's very raw, or like very raw earth.
This chamber looks like it was manipulated to house this specifically, or maybe it was a secret compartment for something of a similar size. But either someone who can move the elements like I can, or a wizard maybe.
Catch on very fast, Iskra.
Thanks. I did do a lot of studying early on in my existence.
Well, even in just a little bit you did pick up, like, I'm impressed. And then I'll kind of like explain more of my investigation to kind of explain it to her. But I think we should tell the others and let them know that we found it down here, and just that way everyone's aware it's down here.
Yeah, this is an important discovery.
I'm sure the druids could help if we set them to it as well.
They might have some answers for sure.
Possibly. Well, this place is hidden, so I don't expect anyone to try to, use it or find it or manipulate it.
Unless there are Thans that, with all this tunnel system, what if they try to come back to it?
That's why we should tell the others and always have a guard down here or something. Maybe take shifts.
Right.
But I hate this no divination because we can't tell someone up in the front. I'm just gonna see if anyone's within range for Spy Smart and be like, "Hey guys, hello, up top."
You don't hear anything.
Yeah, I figured they're not back yet. About how far underground would you say we are?
6 stories ish, because there are five levels to the library below the Vault of Sages, and so this kind of represents somewhere between that 5th layer and a little further down.
Okay, and it's solid stone.
Yes. I mean, as far as you know, aside from the section that that is closer, because you guesstimate right now that you are beyond the edges of the Vault of Sages, so you're further away from it, just underground, like probably close, because the way South Bank kind of curves, or I guess it gets more like this. The Vault of Sages would be more of here at the very edges of it, and you're probably somewhere in closer to the center, you're guessing, of the South Bank.
Trying to think, we're looking through here.
I can head back upstairs. I think I would take someone with, though, just to be on the safe side, and come back down with guards or maybe some more people with knowledge that might be able to help us out.
Okay. So counting, there's Sol, me, Iskra, Aliquin. Lucia's not here.
Well, she's. I kind of like glanced down at the dust. She's not here anymore. No.
Oh God.
Iskra touches her forehead.
So how about a magic user goes with a melee fighter and we pair it off like that?
That seems like a safe way to go.
I can set wards and keep watch until you bring a party back down. If Aliquin, you want to go with back up top to let the others know?
I'll go with Iskra. I'm gonna leave Alec down here. I asked him to make a lot of noise if he sees or hears anything. So
actually, you're good. I can take care of that myself. But I will have you take Mal's if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah.
And out of the corner of like the random part of the room, a little snake comes and like slithers next to you.
What kind of just out of curiosity, because I don't think we've.
No, we don't know what kind of snake you have.
You sent me a picture, right? But is it? I don't remember. I remember you sending me a picture, but this was a while back.
It's just like a little
viper from
garden snake.
Yeah, like a little 2.5 foot long green.
Green.
Viper.
Okay, I couldn't remember what color it was. I thought it was the green one, but I wasn't sure.
Well, I can make him any colors, but he's usually just like a bright emerald green.
Cute.
He's adorable. But,
so sweet.
All
right.
He'll listen to you, and if anything, he'll help watch your back. But Sonder, you okay with staying guard down here with me? Oh, I forgot he's not there.
We'll say yes.
Yes, I would like to do that.
Yes, please. I would like to sit down here. We can have vodka.
Oh,
please.
wow. Oh, wow.
If we may. He sits down and pulls a little ukulele thingy out and just, dings it.
I just like mage hand over to silence and like, shh. Relax, keeping guard down a hall where we hear things. Don't play music.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Be safe. Keep your spice members on, and
all right,
and hurry back. And I will walk back with them to the point where Vilak was standing guard, and right where he was in that hallway. I just had it. I will cast. Huh?
No, go ahead.
I will cast a Mordenkainen's Faithful Hound right in that little hallway.
Okay.
So you just see me like mutter some words and just kind of like give some commands, and then I just start petting like
air.
An invisible dog. Y'all are like, there's nothing fucking there. And I will set the password to be ashes.
Dark. Dark.
I mean, I don't know why I was actually surprised because that is definitely on brand.
I have Valak come back to me. I send him away for a bit, and then I look at Iskra and give her like the thumbs up, like whenever you're ready, let's go.
Thumbs up back. I mean, we've been through scarier than some dark stairs, right? I open up my canteen and cast light again.
I kind of like giggle, and if anything happens, I'm just gonna like teleport us out, you know?
Right, or get out of jail free card.
Yeah. But seriously.
And then with them heading out, if Saunders okay with it, I'll extinguish all lights and then stay within 30 feet of the dog, but I'll just hide.
That's fun.
All right, so you're just gonna sit in the dark. Well, I mean, and the thing is, like, you extinguish what light you have, like light sources, but there is still a very, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bright light directly around it, but the room is definitely filled with this greenish white light. It's almost like whenever you go to like the aquarium, you know, and you're looking through the light that comes down from above, and it's that very bluish white light that kind of just moves with it. That's the kind of light that's being filled in this room. It doesn't quite move with the same patterns what?
I'm just looking at the chat.
Oh, it doesn't quite move with. Don't stop distracting. All of you, just shut up. It doesn't quite move with like the patterns of like moving water, but it just has that quality, and it just kind of gently pulses.
Yeah, I just don't want to have like torchlight and stuff that's like, hey, we're here.
Right.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's like a brighter version of when I cast light.
And Kindred, be careful, because I mean, I don't know about you, but I have a very strong sense that something's down that hallway, and I kind of like point to there.
And I point, I'm like, that's why my dog's keeping guard.
All right.
There's nothing there. Well, at least that you can see.
Dog, yes.
That's the dog. Right. All right. So then Iskra and Aliquin, you guys head up towards the you head back up to slowly make your way up to the Vault of Sages. Are you guys keeping your bioluminescent water lit?
I am going to use that, yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to go ahead and I guess I haven't turned it off, so I've still got like the dewdrops on my hand.
On your hand?
So.
Cool. Alrighty. So then as you are doing that, are you going back stealthily or just the same, or just like walking back?
I'm comfortable just walking back rather than sneaking.
I mean, sure.
I mean, we came down once, we didn't encounter anything, and
we
you
did.
guys came down before us, we didn't find anything, so...
And we know that Sonder and Kindred are just literally right down the hallway. So...
Right, so
yeah.
if we get into a scrape, we'll be fine.
We're fine. I'll just run, it's fine.
Famous last words.
All right, go ahead and as you
were
are
stairs,
as you guys are,
I'm all for a race, but we'll get pretty tired.
What were we gonna say?
Oh, you're good.
Oh, go ahead and make go ahead and make perception checks then, if you will, as you go through here to head back up to the Vault of Sages.
So I got a dirty 20 for a stealth check to go hide.
Okay, got it.
So a 16.
I rolled a 10 in the tradition of Iskra not paying very close attention to things.
That's fine. That's fine. No big deal. All right. Let me see.
You depend on it.
All right. As you are headed back up, you still hear the occasional strange sounds that kind of echo through these caves. You hear the water that kind of trickles along the wall and hits little streams that make their way across your path as you head through this is like underground dungeon / jail cell. You pass then you close them all, but the iron barred gates. There's a brief moment, Aliquin, as you are walking along the path, that you feel like you hear the skittering of little footsteps behind you. Just like every now and then, just the occasional, and you hear like what sounds like a pebble or some rock kind of breaks loose, and you turn, look out in the darkness, but you don't see anything.
As we head back up, I would like to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I would like to occasionally take some more water into my palm and light it up and sprinkle it on the wall as we go. Try to give us some illumination on these dark stairway.
I mean, wait, well, Hansel and Gretel, yeah.
Yes.
You Hansel and Gretel it with bioluminescent water. All right, so as you were doing that, it kind of gives you a little more comfort in that there's a little more light in this surrounding vicinity. But Alec, when you still swear you hear like occasionally just like and then you hear and this actually you both kind of hear little small voices.
Do you know when you're leaving the bathroom, you turn off the light and you're gonna go to your bed, so you run faster thinking there's someone behind you? That's the sensation I have right now.
Yeah,
I kind of look at Isra and I'm just like, when I
never have had that. I don't even know what you're talking about. I've never done that. What are you talking about?
It gets worse when you give in, though, right? So let's just keep it steady.
We kind of both walk a little faster.
Exactly.
Going up the stairs.
They're at mall speed.
Yeah, mall jogger speed. Yeah, definitely. You get to the entrance to this dungeon, and you tug on the door handle, and it opens. As you walk inside, you feel like the shadows just kind of creep in towards you, and you quickly just shut the door behind you.
Close it. Don't shut it.
And you kind of back up, and you would just wait, staring at the door for a moment, but nothing. You hear no further sounds, and that ominous presence still kind of hangs there.
That was creepy. We need to bring torches down next time, and
so
have
burn
them.
this whole place down. Sandra and I should have saved it.
Well,
Just burn it. Just burn it all.
I'm completely cool with that. As soon as we leave, yeah.
All right.
So let's go find help upstairs.
All right. So you go up the stairs, slowly making your way around the spiraling staircase that leads you from this fifth floor. This fifth,
Make my way.
Not submerged, but underground stairwell.
Negative fifth floor.
Yeah, the negative fifth floor. As you circle your way up to the top to try and find some people to help, we are going to go ahead and go on break there. So, it is already almost 8:50 for us. So we will take a quick.
I think splitting the party was a good idea. Why?
I mean, obviously, we got this.
Let's split up, gang.
Yeah.
Not only had you already split up into two groups with Galil and Sybil way the heck up north and stuff, but now you are split up into three groups. Thanks, guys. This is amazing.
So
if
Alec
we were
and I are Daphne and Fred right now because Kindred has a dog.
Got
so
you.
That's Velma and Shaggy.
Yes.
We're both shaggy.
Wow.
Yeah. Yes.
Who the hell am I? I just get a cat.
It's fine.
You're
Who is it,
the
me?
Harlem Globetrotters.
Wait, wait. Someone's got to be Scrappy. You can be Scrappy Doo.
Okay, perfect.
That's Sonder.
You can be the little one.
Shaggy.
I could do Kitty Soul again.
Kitty Soul. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Well, we will be back in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. For those of you who came in during the raids earlier, holy moly. It was, that was interesting to see all of those people in chat suddenly. Kind of made my heart drop. Thanks for that.
Yeah, what's the Twitter etiquette? I didn't know if I should be like, hey,
Yeah,
Raiders.
what's up? Hello, hello.
So those of y'all who aren't seeing the chat, I'm talking to us as the players. Yeah, we got raided twice by 2 different groups. And I think at one point we had like close to 70 people.
Yeah, I
think.
saw there was
Holy
70
shit.
people in there.
And they came in at the same time. It was cool. They'd be like fighting each other with swords.
They've been duking it out in the channel chat, as you do. We have Luke from DM Lair to thanks. Oh, well, thank you, Luke from DM Lair.
And then we also had
what was the other?
Tech SMP, I think it was. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Evo Tech SMP.
Thank you for joining us. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'll try my best to catch those of you who joined and answer any questions you got. But don't go anywhere, and we will be right back.
Hopefully.
No.
Pocahontas. just
Okay,
run
so
through
we are
rails.
we are back.
Oh, well, you missed all of that. Never mind. we weren't doing nothing bad.
We came back. Sorry for the delay. I will have everybody kind of tell who they are in a second, and if you have any questions, go ahead and shout it out because we're still missing a couple people. But I wanted to be able to, get this underway. Soul had to go deal with a fire.
And I'm back.
We just all of a sudden heard the fire alarm go off. Is everything okay? You're good?
Oh yeah, I have this very sensitive what's
Fire
it called?
alarm?
Fire detector.
Yeah.
Detector.
You'd
And
rather
I had
be
my
too sensitive
I had
than
my
not sensitive.
oven. Yeah, I had my oven preheating, and that's all it took. So
Wow.
Soul is just
Hey.
so attractive that occasionally
Oh, yeah.
He
sets off his
says,
fire alarm.
He's hot.
"Hey."
guys,
Okay,
come on.
so-
Here's where I do like my blushing, like no.
Aw, kitty soul.
Okay, so I guess we'll start with who's right here. Iskra, you're up here first. So go ahead and
We will start with me. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Iskra's my name. Poker's my game. Actually, I don't know how to play poker at all.
That's fine. So you're Iskra.
But, yeah. In real life, I live in Texas, as many of us do.
Mhm.
In game, my character comes from Ravnica, so a different campaign setting that those of you may or may not be familiar with. World covered in City, and also originally from Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. And then I think Bram was asking, do you have a deity that you're aligned with? I don't think with Iskra, I don't think she's currently aligned with a deity.
Iskra doesn't currently even believe in the gods, really.
Yeah, she has yet
So-
to experience that firsthand just yet. She's getting there, but she's new to Faerun / Forgotten Realms because of Alcuin, which I guess we'll just jump over to Alcuin. Go ahead and tell us about your character.
Well, hello, Alcuin. The awkward, super quiet, super shy warlock. Kinda also maybe from Ravnica-ish. Well, my dad's from Ravnica, Bolin, but I'm here now with the party. Fun stuff. not Russian at all, but I have a really good Russian accent and German accent. Respiratory therapist does an actual job, so please wear your masks so I don't have to do medical things on you because that's always great time of my day.
Very fair.
God.
Currently plays a warlock. Yeah, that's your character. Iskra is a monk of the
Yes, I'm also, Way of the Four Elements.
Way of the Four Elements.
There's some wonderful backstory stuff that I'm sure will come up sometime when I'm talking to some of the characters. Also, I play a pretty mean dulcimer, and I'm a master of disguise.
All right.
Be a master of guys.
We have, I guess, if we're going that direction now, we'll go ahead and do Kindred. You're on the far side of this list over here.
Hello. So,
and that's Kindred. Okay,
and there you go.
And
moving on.
Kindred is very sarcastic and likes wit, very much like myself. I was a male high elf, and then things happened, and now I'm a female hobgoblin.
He died. That's the thing that happened to him. He died and then was reincarnated.
And I didn't die. Instead, I crystallized. And
God damn it.
And he turned into a beautiful butterfly.
Oh no.
So,
She need to go back in. She ain't done.
I'm like 300 years old. I thought it was like 200 years old, but stuff happened, and what I thought was my childhood isn't necessarily my childhood, and I'm figuring stuff out as we go.
All right.
And I play a abjuration wizard, so very much defensive, negating everything, and always wanting to be in control.
Okay.
See that.
Any
She ain't a
deities?
dumb,
Any deities at the moment?
Kindred is more of an atheist, but I would guess you can say he tolerates Saloon just because he knows that Afriel / Carp is Saloon's son, and I like Afriel.
Okay. Alrighty. Next, I think we have Sybil. She's down there.
So Sybil is also not exactly from the Forgotten Realm, but she did just kind of stumble into a portal one day when she was like 7. And she was found by some harpers who took her to someplace safe, and she was raised as the greatest secret of the Knights of Silvery Moon. She's very dry. She's very quiet. She's more of an observer. And she's also an excellent tactician and negotiator.
The negotiator. Yes, you play a monk that is a homebrew way of the Jedi. So basically a Jedi, kind of. We're just using that kind of style thing and putting that in here because why not? You know, who doesn't love some little change every now and then? We also have Sonder. Sonder, are you there?
Yeah. Can I switch out to video?
Oh yeah. All right, we'll come back. Yeah, we'll come back to you. All right. So then Galil, we'll go over to Galil because I skipped you. I don't know how I skipped you, but I skipped you. Go ahead. Tell us about Galil.
Let's see. Galil, he is 35 now. He is Beastmaster, Ranger, multi-classed into Shadow Magic Sorcerer, who's actually the grandson of Saloon. And is now an oracle for Afriel / Carp.
Nice. So yeah, heavily related to Saloon on that one. Everyone else is like, I don't know about the gods, and you're like, no, they're
real.
They're everywhere.
In fairness, I don't know this about you.
That is true.
So then the last one. No, we have Soul. Go ahead, Soul. Tell us about Soul.
Hi, I am Soul.
The end.
Kitty Soul. Hang on, Kitty Soul.
Kitty Soul.
I am 22 days sober.
Oh, air hug. I'll drink to
already.
that.
Nice. I really do think that's vodka now.
What?
It is.
All right, so go ahead, Soul.
So, my character is Soul. He is, which I can never pronounce this correctly, Furbog.
Furbog. Yeah. No, that's good.
Furbog. He's a Furbog. He is, I want to say, I think I said he's 7 feet tall, 8 feet tall. He's really tall. He's a druid / rogue. He was raised in a small little, like, chieftain village of druids, and they were also taught to be sneaky, not to be seen, not to be caught. One of the big enemies here tends to find and capture druids. So he's kind of had to learn how to sneak around. So he's a big guy, but he can sneak. He's really good at that. He does a lot of summoning magic too, and shape-shifting stuff. Way of the Shepherd, it's called. So I spent a good chunk of time as a cat to try to...
For like 4 sessions?
Yeah.
It was like, no, I think it was longer than that. I think it was like 2 months or something.
And you were like so perfect at it, like zero trying, like hiding under the bed, snatching. Let's go.
Oh yeah, and wiping people when I walk by. So yeah, I got my cat stuff. Whenever I go into kitty form, I'll just switch into that.
Yeah, why not? All right, cool. And then lastly, we have Sonder, who has just arrived home safely. Yay! Glad to see your face. So tell us about Sonder. Your character, Sonder.
Ouch, by the way.
Oh, well, fuck. I forgot Renan. Don't worry, you're still new. We're getting to you, okay?
Sonder is a monk of the Order of Bahamut, the Order of the Platinum Dragon of Justice and Good. He just wants to rebuild his order and his bring justice to his brothers and sisters that have fallen.
Okay.
From the Theam Empire and those who follow Tiamat.
Yeah. You're a water genasi.
I am a water genasi. I used to be a Kensei monk, but I have since got a blessing from Bahamut, so I will see how that goes.
Yeah. And then last but not least, because I swear I didn't forget and I was just doing this on purpose, we have Renan.
Renan is
And that's
a cleric of Tempest for a homebrew god that I created when I DM. He's from another world called Ruvian, and he became a cleric to Hirsonos so that he could explore the world. And then after about a century, because he's an elf and he gets to be old, he started going to other realms in service to Hirsonos, and that's why he's here.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Well, I think that about covers all of our characters at the moment.
And now for our DM.
Yes,
What about Aelin?
I am the world. Well, Aelin, because he's an NPC. We'll get with. I mean, NPCs.
world.
I am,
You are
and
the world.
I am
God.
the world. No, of course. Thank you for joining us, Brom. Silverleaf. Do you prefer Brom or just Silverleaf or just Silver or just Leaf? There's a bunch that you could go with there. But thank you for hanging out with us. I hope you get to hang out with us more in the future. We have a very crazy group. Sean, not John, over there also was at one time, because we've been playing for 2 years. This campaign is
Sean.
this camp
logged off.
He was my fellow elf buddy.
for the last yeah, exactly. We've been playing for 2 years. Because of the pandemic, we switched to Zoom games, and then we were like, well, let's just go ahead and put it online. Why not? We're already doing it. So here we are. It's been a very interesting year is doing the streaming thing, but it's been fun nonetheless. But Sean Not John was an elf monk that was in our party for the first year and a half almost. LV there has also played with us. Knights of Silver Moon, the whole channel as a whole. We do one shots and plus Game of Santos. So the one shots are all have been based in a similar universe. So what we try and do with that is like Justice League style it, so that we can do these little one shots that are different groups of people. The players get to play different characters if they want, but it's still all tied to the same campaign. And so we'll have some events that happen in the city that's far to the south, and it changed the course of events that would take place in the campaign for everybody else. And so the stuff that the game that the players do on Tuesdays can have effects on the one shots that we play like later in the week or whatever, and vice versa. It kind of goes back and forth. So it's a very interesting thing that we have going on. But Game of Santos is our main campaign that we do Tuesday nights. So thank you for hanging out with us. And I guess now we'll get back to what we were the craziness that we have going on at the moment. So
one more thing.
Yes.
If you want to know a little bit about some of the background, Aaron, our DM, and I have done lore dumplings with a few of the characters from the past to dive back into the world and everything that happened before the Zoom days.
Yeah, so you can look
and
up.
We'll be doing more of that in the future too.
Yes, we definitely have the VODs. I think are still up. We also have a lot of our previous episodes that we started with are on YouTube. So if you look up Game of Santos D&D, you should find us there. I should have pulled up the link for it, but I'll put that in the chat at the end of the game, and you can see.
We're also going to have a game session where all of us are going to wear onesies.
Oh my god, yes.
Onesie day. I'm ready for the pajama party.
Yep.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
We'll see.
Aaron hates my guts now.
I gave everyone 2 weeks notice already.
We're committed now.
I mean, you know, we'll
Just
see.
like
Once
If
we
I-
get that stimulus check, we won't have any excuses.
yeah, I mean, you know, I'll be able to afford a onesie that can fit me. Yes, I know, Dakota. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm
Oh
gonna
my
spend
gosh.
all $600 on my onesie.
On my onesie, it'll be the best onesie I have ever
Custom
seen.
made.
But yeah, all right. So at this point, we will be going. We're gonna go ahead and tune back in. Let me set up the music real quick.
Back to the creepy stairs.
No, actually, we're going across
outside.
outside.
I ran past that.
Yeah, those creepy scares. Go, 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 go. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We go up to the edges of a abandoned quarry. Query is something
An abandoned
else.
query. So you started typing on Ask Jeeves and you stopped.
I know, my brain's already melting. All right, so you get to the edges there where we find Sybil, who's in her meditative, like in a meditative trance, and Galileo, who had been sitting in front of her, had just finished this strange vision of multiple possibilities of the future. And the last vision that you had seen was like these overlaid images of the city of Silvery Moon stacked on top of each other, sometimes shifting, but then sometimes still. And in one of those, you see this brilliant bead of white light that seems to shine from the southern, the south bank, before it then quickly explodes outwards in this large, explosive blast of energy that just consumes the entirety of the city and the environment surrounding it, leaving behind only a smoking crater and ash. Your eyes burst open as you just feel that sudden like shock. And you are sitting there in the moonlight as it like lights the area around you, and you can see Sybil's eyes pop open, having sensed a disturbance in your demeanor suddenly as you kind of just come to, and you both stare at each other.
Are you okay? What happened?
I don't know, but it just felt so real. Gosh. How should I put this? I had visions of everything. Silvery Moon being destroyed, but also it being safe as well.
Could it be two possible futures?
I think so.
How could we prevent the latter?
Whatever they're doing over there, probably.
Does it have to do with the portal?
I hope so. Because if so, it's just it right here.
Can I roll a check to see whether or not I can tell if everything in this camp is going to be blown up to open the portal?
How so? What do you mean?
Like, I don't know if I can. Maybe I read a book about something. I don't know.
Oh God!
I just want.
I don't know how to go about getting to it.
Right. Okay. So specifically, are you wanting to try and figure out, like about the portal itself, or just like the
What's
camp?
required to make the portal start?
Okay. You can make an Arcana check as you're trying to like think back to some of your training.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna use the spice murmur and see if I can reach anyone.
Okay.
Is
Wow.
anyone here? Anyone close? Hello?
Okay.
Am I in range or no?
You're still in transit at the moment, but
Okay.
so you don't hear anything. And unfortunately, Galil, no one returns your spy's murmur.
Remember,
You got left on red.
No longer. Damn it! I was left on red.
All right. So, what did you roll, Sybil?
Oh.
12?
Mm.
Unfortunately, it seems as though most of the information that you know as far as like these circles go, nothing that you are familiar with at this magnitude. You've seen mages use teleportation circles before. It's not a rare occurrence, but it's not a super common one either. It's kind of somewhere in that weird gray area of like it you know it happens. And you know that it's when it's open, they're not open for very long. At least from the size of a normal teleportation circle. This one is massive. It's at least 150 to 200 feet across. And it just completely covers the entirety of this cliff wall at the back of the quarry. And looking out over the edges right now, there doesn't seem to be anything aside from the markings that are now kind of glowing there's like a very dull glow. It's like, I go back to this bioluminescence thing again, but it's like that bioluminescent like glow to it. The pattern just kind of slowly pulses, but it's been doing that since you've seen it. And now it's probably a little more visible only in the sense that it's dark.
Well, what do we do now?
No one's reaching us still. Let's just keep an eye on the camp still.
Can we notice if there's any changing activity?
Make a perception check.
24.
24. Looking out, you can see that there is 16 for you. So Sybil, you can see that there is some movement going between the tents. You can see that there are some larger figures that are coming from the airship itself. Somewhat larger than your usual, like the humanoid shapes that you can see from this distance. These stand you would guess somewhere between 8 and 9 feet tall. And there's about 4 or 5 now that are like exiting from somewhere inside this airship.
What kind of clothes or armor are they wearing?
From this distance, it's hard to tell. In the moonlight shadows, you can just see you're seeing these tiny little figures that are moving. You don't see any glint of armor of any kind. But strange. You almost swear that it almost looks like they have. No, it can't possibly be. Your eyes must be playing tricks on you. It looks like for a second you saw more than 2 arms on one of them. But it was only for the briefest moment. And they seem to be kind of spreading out from each other. 2 of them kind of go up to the wall, like with their backs to the portal itself.
I look at Galil and I kind of whisper, "Oh fuck."
What do you see?
That was.
I really hope everybody shows up relatively soon.
What did you see that spooked you so much?
They're starting to gather around the portal, and one of them has 4 arms. And I kind of back away a little bit to where they can't see me from the top of the cliff, but I kind of turn into a little bit of what I saw to kind of show him.
Oh, whoa. Were you always able to do that?
If you tell anybody, you die.
Fair. I like her.
Then I turn back into the little silvery petite.
But for that brief moment, you see those like, it's almost like a blurred image because even from what she saw, she couldn't see very well. But it's just like obscured in darkness. This larger hulking figure, and what looks like crossed arms, and then another set of arms hanging loosely at its side. Before those arms too crossed and kind of just become one large morphous shape.
Should we go into the camp and still hide? Like get a closer look?
I doubt that would be a wise idea. I have the feeling that things down there are about to get really hot, and we probably want to back away, probably start moving towards where we could meet the group so we can contact them sooner.
Okay.
Well, then let's start doing that.
You hear a crackling in your ear as it sounds like Soul is finally reaching within range. Are you saying anything, Soul?
Oh, I thought he was gonna say something.
No.
Okay, so-
You just hear, you start to hear Soul's voice like in your head. It's like you've been trying every so often. The closer you get, you're like knowing you're getting there.
I forgot. Yeah, we did that last time too.
Yeah.
Hello. Test.
Wait,
Hello there.
What? Hold on.
Oh,
Hello?
Khalil, is that you?
Yeah, there you are. How? You're getting closer now.
Yeah, I am on my way, and I have found a run-on. He has shown up out of nowhere again, as he tends to do. But this time I made sure. I made sure that this is the right run-on. Gave him a little test, and it was definitely him.
Oh,
So-
the one with the wing complex. Okay.
One to talk.
You don't wait. Does Renan have a spice memory?
He
yet
does
still?
not. No.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I really do hope that the others will be joining us soon, but it seems like they were trying to figure out something on the very bottom of Ranan's castle. I don't really understand what they were talking about, but hopefully it won't take them too long. But
Renan has a castle? What?
it's a castle to him.
Sure.
Castle?
Wait, I have a castle? Someone just got really excited.
Oh, not Renan.
No, that was confusion.
Yeah, that was the part that was confusing.
Yeah. I always get y'all's damn names mixed up. Tell me what Amaranth. God dang it! Thank you. Right on the very bottom of Amaranth.
Wow!
You are now on level with the one of the big bads. Good job.
I can live with that.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, go on. Sorry.
Clip his wings afterwards.
But I shall be there shortly. How does it look? Is everything okay?
They're starting to do some activities, so hurry up.
You're at least you know you're about a mile out, so you're not far. You'll probably be there in the next couple of minutes.
Okay, Sybil, they're getting close to here now, so maybe we should meet them at the base. Base of this cliff that we're on.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna quietly go down.
All right,
Sure.
go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Nat 1, fumbles, falls, bang, cling, clang.
Sybil's like, no, stop.
Clang,
The words
clang,
of
clang
RuPaul.
The trolley.
Don't
If only
fuck it
had
up.
wings. You could get
So-
down there pretty easy if you had wings.
I rolled an 18 altogether, and Oreo got 19.
Okay. Oreo is your pet tiger with wings, basically.
It's like
Just
a cookie.
for context.
Panther.
Striped panther with wings. Got it.
Because he wanted to be Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay. So Sybil, go ahead and roll a stealth check as well for me, please.
Guide yourself.
I don't think that's how that works, but yes.
I am gonna cast guidance on myself.
Gonna use the force and like just woo, all the way down.
I don't know. Can I?
What?
No.
I don't think you had. Do you have guidance? I don't think you had guidance.
I didn't have guidance.
Oh, okay.
And it's 6 even with guidance.
A 6 with guidance? Cool. All right. So
Not cool.
cool. All right. So you follow along behind Galil as he sneaks down this like rocky cliffside. You guys move far enough away from the edges of the quarry to not be seen and kind of make a similar path that you had taken to get up to the top, but you kind of cut some corners as you go down. And the path that Galil follows, he kind of goes through these larger boulders, and before you know it, you kind of lose track of where he went. You kind of follow as best as you can, and you can sense his presence close by, but you still are having trouble seeing him through the moonlit shadows of these boulders that litter the edges of this hillside. And as the moment kind of happens where you are struggling to keep up with him, your foot kind of stumbles and you start this little rock slide. Not a large one, just like a couple, like 3 or 4 rocks that kind of like kind of tumble along the way, and you curse to yourself, but continue on, listen, and don't appear to hear anything.
Can
You
I
can-
use my Jedi senses to see if I sense anything?
You may. You can use a perception check if you wish.
17.
17. Listening for that moment as you kind of panic, your heart racing. You don't sense any other presence. Galil, you hear the noise from behind you, and you kind of like shake your head for a second, but it doesn't seem, you too listen out for any sort of something, and you don't hear anything. All right. What are you guys doing?
I'm sorry I'm not as graceful as usual.
Are you saying this to yourself, or?
Oh wait, did I not find him?
I mean, he's still kind of up ahead of you. You know he's kind of in the general vicinity.
Oh, then I'm going to try.
You're gonna what?
I want to try to catch up.
Okay. And you do. It takes you a minute, but you eventually you see him waiting for you, like around the corner of a boulder. You're just like, he's just there.
You good?
It's typical Galil to just not wait for anybody and go off on his own.
Everyone
So-
not.
We should continue on, or should we wait for them here?
Honestly, I think we should stay here a little bit.
And it doesn't take long. You wait for like a couple of minutes, and then you hear the soft padding. There's like, it's not quite like the galloping of horses, but there's like a very subdued.
I'm
It's
still
like,
gonna hide, just in case if it's not them.
okay. And from the edges of the trees, you see these large, hulking, feline, cat-like creatures prowl out of the woods. On their backs, you can see several mounted individuals. Soul.
Is that you?
I forgot what I was writing. I was like, oh dang, those sound scary.
Yes, that indeed was you.
I wave. Do we get there? We're already there
Yeah,
together now?
yeah. You guys,
Okay.
you confirm that it is him, and so you're able to meet up if you wish.
They're here, Sybil.
Okay, well, how are things? What is going on now?
I take the map that I drew of the area out. I take the map out and I show them where we were watching from, and I show them the different points of different vantage points, basically, of where we could host people. And I inform everybody that we noticed that there was activity. There were people starting to gather around the portal. And I told them about the large four-armed individual.
Okay. You have there these 4 of the wizards, and there are 4 knights, one of whom you have served with before, the Knight Martel. And he comes over and kind of like nudges your arm with his elbow a little bit. Good work. The other, there's a human female knight that comes up to you, and you know her as one of the more senior members that have been traveling with your group, Knight Sissa. She comes over to you and kind of she's kind of following along as you are explaining what you have seen, and she looks over at the mages or the wizards there with you as well. All right. So, from what you have seen, did it look like they were bringing people to activate the portal, or are they just presenting guards? From the sound of it, it sounds like they are putting guards out, no?
It felt more ominous than that.
You what?
I said it felt more ominous than that.
I trust your senses, Knight Sibyl. If you say that it was more ominous, then perhaps we should go with caution. And you? She looks over at Galil. What did you see?
A lot of tents, but only some of them had lights. Not all of them.
All of them kind of share a glance. So then it is possible that they are not even occupied. It may be there more for as distraction.
I mean, better for us to hide in.
It's true.
To get a surprise attack.
The creatures in this area does not like to go over into that section either. They stay far away.
How close are we to the camp?
From where you're at, it's probably like a good 10-15 minute walk.
I know, but distance-wise.
Distance-wise, you're looking at a couple hundred feet, at least from the edges, from where you're at.
One moment, I'm gonna sit down and primeval awareness this shit again.
Okay. As you sit and you go into your rangered senses, you know what I meant.
I know what you meant.
Words. You extend out your feelings to try and gather what sense you can of the things that are around you. And just as before, you had sensed the presence of undead close.
And fiends, or no?
And you sense the presence of fiends. But now there is a more fiend presence than there had been before the last time you had checked. You extend your senses as far as you can, but that is the closest pings that you get.
I'm gonna vamp out and stand up again and... Okay. I know that there's a lot of undead and fiends there, but I don't know how many And I don't know if they're the only ones there.
I do not like the undead.
Also, I forgot. I mean, Renan is there with you guys as well.
Oh
I keep
yeah,
forgetting-
and this guy.
I was like, we didn't mention him, but he is there.
I mean, to be fair, Khalil would just focus in on
Everybody else.
Fair.
I'm just like, bye.
Just like, bye.
Sybil sees Renan. She's never seen anybody like that, and she just kind of is in awe and like goes and looks at his wings and goes and like pokes his wings.
And I'm just kind of,
I'm gonna go up to Sybil. They're fake. Don't worry.
I flutter my wings and smack him in the face with them.
Oh, sorry, I
I'm
didn't see you
gonna
there.
Catch his wing.
Oh no,
and
here we go again.
Grab a
All right,
handful
we're
of feathers
rolling
out.
for this shit. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
here we go. Here's a
Grab
little
a
mini
handful
roll
of feathers
session.
out of that shit.
And I kind of force push out and go, children.
Yeah. You
So
both
what
feel
roll-
you
what
both
rolls
feel
are
a
necessary for what's about to happen.
you both feel a brief moment of like this energy just push against you to kind of separate you just as your fingers are about to grab those feathers. Galil, they like slip through just barely. You guys get pushed back, like you take a step backwards, basically each of you. You just feel this sudden like push. You see a very amused look on Martel's face and a couple of the others.
I knew that was the right Renan.
Hey, I gotta make sure too, just in case.
I look over at Sybil. That was an impressive trick.
Kalesh, the one mage who had been riding one of the bears or one of the moorbounders, kind of steps up and is like, "So, what my understanding that we brought all these people here? You're just gonna stand around doing little fancy tricks, or what?"
Well, we could do that, or we could get something done.
I look at him and I want to intimidate him. I could show you a lot of fancy tricks, but we have a lot more important things to worry about.
All right.
Damn.
So, what would you like to do?
her.
Turn this around real quick.
They don't call her the negotiator for no reason.
Kindred, I'm done with you.
You all need to like ease off on the Zoom chat, guys. Come on. All right. So, what are you guys doing?
I want to look at the map and look at where we noticed all of the other people coming from. I want to decide with the group where we need to post people.
Okay. So for the moment, it would appear that most of the activity is towards the back of the quarry, closest to the airship. That is where the tents that you saw that had the light inside of it, those are located there by the airship. The apparent guards that came out of the airship and started posting up against the portal walls itself, they also were staying more towards that back area. It seemed like from what you had seen, there wasn't any activity closer towards the entrance of this quarry where the tents were located. You didn't see any movement there. It's just dark tents.
Is there a way that we could cause a distraction up away from the portal near the entrance and still come in from behind?
Yeah, I'm sure we can think of something.
We all shouldn't go in the same way. We should all split up and meet at one point inside the camp.
Can't believe I'm agreeing with Galil.
I'm not sure I'd like to split up any further than we already have.
Just enter at different points, so that way we'll have more of a flank on them.
Did you, was there anybody back at the, what one place? Back at the camp area, who you told that you were bringing reinforcements this way, so the rest of the party who didn't follow you knows to come this way?
Correct. Yeah, I gave them instructions on where we are located.
Are they still working on the Fang?
They were working on something in the bottom of Ranath.
Amaranth.
Amaranth. God dang it! Every time.
The Vault of Sages. You can just say at the
Yes.
bottom of the Vault of Sages.
But that's so difficult for him to say. Just
Okay.
kidding.
You know
I'm
what I mean.
kidding.
This is more for Soul's help than it is for Soul's help.
Yeah. Yeah, at the bottom of the Hall of Sages, I do not understand what they were doing, but it sounded really important.
They're probably trying to find a book.
Yeah, that is probably true.
Well, I'm sure it's important. They'll catch up eventually. But who's going to be our distraction?
So, can you summon something?
I sure can. What would you prefer, big or many?
I think many would be better.
Okay.
So that way they can distract it from different spots while we go in.
Okay, now would you want like natural creature or would you want intimidating creature?
Make it something impressive, I think.
What he
Something
said.
flashing.
Okay. I would like to have some fun with this.
All right.
Okay, so let me look to see what I can do. Give me a couple of minutes. Y'all go ahead.
All right. So, Knight Sissa comes over to, like, goes up to you guys, well, as they are considering things. I vote that we try and go in as quickly as possible, but use the shadows of the tents. Make sure that they are empty before we try and do anything. If they are...
Before we go inside, next to the tent, peek inside.
Of course. You
For those
may...
with wings who can't.
Do not worry. Once we are within a certain range, most of us knights are able to sense another being's presence. If there is something within, we will know. We don't necessarily have to peek inside.
Oh, should one of us go with one of your knights as well?
That is completely up to you. Ireland there and Martel are rather quick on their feet. They can at least scout out the perimeter and use the shadows as best as possible, just to ascertain whether we are dealing with hidden foes or if there are none there at all. At least then we can gather a little more information than just troop placements, though, to be fair, that is quite useful. But I feel like any more information is needed before we try and make our move. As of the moment, do not sense that they would be gathering forces so quickly. Judging by the description that Sybil has given us, I don't see a portal that large being able to be activated so quickly. It would probably need quite a bit of power and several mages, I would assume. And you said you didn't see what looked like mages, am I correct?
Correct.
So my best guess is that they are either waiting in those tents or they are gathered within the wrecked ship itself. Either way, it's preferable that they would be out in the tents. It would leave them more vulnerable than if they were holed away inside the ship. But, Martel, Ireland, go ahead and try and scout as best you can on the outskirts of the quarry. That way we know for certain that they aren't waiting for us there. After that, we can try and use your distraction and whatever else our mage and druid friends can come up with. And we will try and do this as quickly and as quietly as possible.
I want to remind them that regardless of whether or not we've seen them, we do know that there are mages. They need to be careful and make sure that they don't step into magical craft or get blown up on the way.
Of course. Martel kind of winks at you and nods before he and Ireland kind of take off So what are you guys doing?
Should we go, Sybil?
I say we could probably go back to where we were.
Is it nighttime already?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, sweet.
Shall I go in from above?
You are the one with wings. I'm not quite sure what you're capable of, but if you find that that is your strong suit, then I suggest you take it. I am unfamiliar with your capabilities, though I sense that you are all quite strong in your own way. I trust you to make good judgment in these particular circumstances that we find ourselves in. So, shall we move on then?
Indeed.
All right. So you guys start slinking your way back up the side of the hill towards the cliff edge that you had found yourselves on to begin with. Go ahead and make stealth checks for me.
Thank you, nighttime.
Oh, you get a bonus from nighttime?
Thanks to my armor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
He's got like a shadow armor. Sybil, you're fine, probably. No, you're not fine.
Oh shit.
There was a natural one. It's a phrase. There was a nat one.
Okay.
I need a calculator.
Oh no.
All right.
22.
22.
Okay, so mine's a
Oof.
32 and Oreos.
I think I should get like a bonus or something because they're not looking up, right?
6.
No, you're right. You should get a disadvantage because you're out in the middle of nowhere in the night sky flying. You are correct.
What is the phase of the moon?
Not in your favor.
Not in your favor right now. It is really bright. Earlier, there was bright moonlight that had been cascading and lighting up the hillside for them. So it's fairly bright. And
You're the one wanting to go out in the open.
If it
All right.
helps the party, I'll make the sacrifice.
Oh my gosh. Well, to be fair, having
32
rolled
for me and dirty 20 for Oreo.
great, that'll counteract Sybil's natural one and the 2 other natural runs from the other party members.
Oh my goodness.
Holy!
So, we'll just say that as you guys are climbing up the side of the hill, it may not go as quietly as you had wanted. It's not exactly a noisy, cascading rock fest, but it's not the quiet that you were hoping for. This was a rougher start, let's just say. It was a rougher start with a couple of stumblings and fallings as the loose gravel on the side of the hill kind of proved a little tricky for some of the mages as they were climbing up the side. But with a little more guidance and patience, you're able to kind of follow the leader, as it were, as Galil kind of navigates his way through those boulders. We are, as you guys do that, and you guys climb your way to the top, we're going to go ahead and go back to Alcuin and Iskra right now, as you guys are in search of someone to do whatever you were going to do. What are you guys doing? You guys were looking for someone to start a rotation, am I right?
Yeah, we need whoever's in charge here.
All right. You're able to find let me see here. You are able to find Ko, the Dragonborn wizard from the Wizards of Evermore, as he and is having a conversation with some of the other wizards as well. You see him, and then also
Thalu.
Thalu. Yes, thank you.
I haven't met either of these people before.
Okay.
because so
But you do see, well, you have seen them in
How would a spice member do that? Because I know they're kind of higher up in the totem pole.
Okay. Yeah, I
Just
mean, I would
seek out
figure
those
you.
names.
Yeah. So you do find them. I was gonna say, I feel like you have seen them before at least, but maybe not. You haven't actually met them.
She
No,
stayed
'cause
behind
I
doing the
stayed-
fire stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was me and Soul.
And then I went
that's
straight to
right.
Sonder.
It was
So-
me and Soul that met them.
Okay.
So before we even like get over to Cole and Thalu, I kind of like pull Iskra to the side. So what are we telling them? That there's a giant floating rock downstairs we have to protect, or what?
Well, if they are wizards, then hopefully they'll know what a mythal is and be able to help us out, right?
I mean, yeah.
So I guess we'll just tell them that we've found it, that it blocks your divination magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that we want to reset it, and we can't let it fall back into Than hands.
Yeah. If they can fix it to where the city and I guess also us can use divination, then that'd be awesome.
So you know what they look like, right?
I think so. Were they the ones that were over at the dinner table when we first got here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So I was kind of like scanned to see if I can see them.
Yeah, and like I said, you do find them.
They're right there?
They're
Okay, cool.
basically stay pretty close to the front entrance room, is where they have set up a lot of the tents and kind of made a command center, as it were, out of the surrounding rooms. So that's where a lot of like the little tents are set up for the other wizards, those who are being healed from their battle from last night still, or recovering from the battle from last night. Then that's where they're at. But you see this tall, for Iskra's sake, you see this tall, kind of reddish orange dragonborn, wearing very simple, almost looks like what you would imagine like a farmer or something clothing. Like he has this robe, not like so much like a robe, it's almost like a long vest that kind of hangs down, an open vest that hangs down to almost his knees. But he has this very imposing aura to him, even though he is dressed in a very simple manner. And then Thalu, she is an older elven woman with this like almost like it's braided hair that is like pulled back in a really large thick ponytail, but it's almost looks more like dreads almost, is in how thick that these braids are, and the numerous braids that they are, they're just all braided back into this large ponytail that kind of hangs behind her head. But you recognize the saber hilt that these sun sabers that they all carry, and they are currently in a discussion with some other wizards and knights that are gathered around at the moment.
I point to them and say that I think they might be able to help.
It sure has that look, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let's head over.
Okay. So you
Walk over that direction.
They are having these small little conversations all around you. You go ahead and catch their attention. Even before you kind of approach, you see Thalu turn her head towards the two of you. She kind of squints her eyes and, can we help you?
Hey, yeah, I think probably. Have you heard of a mythal?
Thalu looks over at Kor, and Kor's like, his attention now turns to you guys like, a mythal? You mean like a mythal?
Like, protected by something that disintegrated someone that was helping us, mythal, yeah.
I'm sorry, what? You said it disintegrated someone?
I have like a super sad face on.
I want to see. I want to see a performance check on this. I want to see how sad you were.
Oh shit.
Sorry.
Dip your fingers in some
I
water,
just
like
the fact that you said I had a super sad face on. I was just
Sad
like,
face on.
do you though?
Perform your sadness.
Perform your
Performance?
sadness.
Oh, actually, a 20.
ooh,
You
So,
know,
yeah,
might as well
so
use them
it's
where
like-
use it where it counts, I guess.
Yeah, right.
use some dices in the chat.
I like it's like my entire life just flashed, and I just saw her like burst into dust again. I was just like,
Thalu
Should
looks
ugly
over, start ugly crying.
ugly crying.
Do the like
Breeze
lower
of
lip
beautiful
quiver thing where you're
charisma
like,
caster.
all right. Jeez. Okay. Thalu looks over and just like, I'm sorry for your loss. You said you found this down. Where did you find this?
Deep in the sublevels of the Vault of Sages. In a
Are
secret
you-
room.
Is it? Have you? Are you sure it is safe down there?
We left two of our party. Our wizard and another monk like me.
The the goblin, hobgoblin.
Yes, she's a local here. And
You left-
very intelligent.
But you left it in the care of a hobgoblin. Are you
She's
sure you can trust this person?
well enough, yes.
There is. I will trust your judgment, but from the sense that I have gotten, this is not someone that you wish to be trusting with dangerous things.
She
are-
cares about Silvery Moon.
I hope you are correct. In any case, that is probably something that we should keep guarded, no? Can it be moved?
I don't think so. It's been worded in a way that would make that difficult.
What do you mean, warded?
Like I said, we brought someone down with us, and she's not here anymore.
Oh, all right. Well, we can send some mages down there and see what we can do about fixing up those wards a little better. If it can't be moved anyhow. What was it that you said it killed somebody?
That's right. There's concentric rings underneath it, and she stepped onto the first ring, and that was it.
All right. Well, it sounds like we're gonna have to take care of that ourselves then. I'll find some people to go down there.
I'd be careful heading back. There's an ominous presence down there. I don't know if it's just because of how dark it is, and you get that feeling, or if there's really something there.
On our
'Cause-
way down, we're gonna bring torches down just to make it a little bit more lighter, because on the way up, I don't know what it was. It just felt eerie, I guess.
It does need some brightening up. I look at Eloquin.
Yeah.
Well, considering that this was a hive of red wizards, I wouldn't doubt that there was all sorts of creepy things down there. I'm pretty impressed that you all came back alive for the most part, anyway.
Well, I mean, we can take care of ourselves. Just whenever you go towards the mithril, just be careful when you get ready to touch it, I guess, because that's.
I don't think that
it
I'll
just
be trying to
happened.
touch it. Don't worry.
Yeah, just okay. It just happened so fast.
Right. Well, in either case, are you going to be going down there to retrieve your friends, or are you going to be staying here?
I think we're gonna go down. I look at Iskra.
Yeah, I suppose we could escort you back and bring them back up, or see if Kindred's made any progress.
All right. Well, just give me a moment and I'll assign some people to go down there with you. Make sure you don't go down there by yourselves or in the dark, apparently. Thalu nods, and I'm going to see about finishing with posting of the guards around the city. If you need anything, either one of you, just find one of my knights or myself, and I will do what we can to help you and your friends. Just
Thank you.
use good judgment. That is all I ask.
Initially, we were trying to find some information about the portal to the north, and we were unable to discover that.
Well, hopefully your allies that are there now can do something about it. We have sent, I believe it was the Trollförbogel Soul. He has taken some of our extra forces that we had available and sent them north to go and find your allies.
Are you confident that they'll be able to handle whatever is up there?
With what forces survived and escaped, I feel somewhat confident. Anything is still possible, but if they are quick and smart, it should be fine.
I kind of do a frowny face at Eloquent. It's like, should
We about to find out.
do something about that?
It is already dark, and it is quite some distance away as far as I have been told. You are free to do what you wish, but at the moment we cannot spare any more forces to go north as far as quicker transportation.
You're right. We'll just head back down then.
May life guide you. And she turns and continues talking with her allies there. Meanwhile, down below in the dark, we have Kindred and Soul. No, Kindred and Asander. The other S word. Kindred and Asander, as you guys are downstairs in the dark. What are you guys doing?
Pretty dark in here.
Don't you have the goggles?
Yeah, but it's still pretty dark. Like, vibe-wise.
Yes, but I look over towards my hound. There's been no reaction or anything, right?
No.
And how long have we been down here so far?
Like 20 minutes?
Okay.
Since they've left, it's probably been like 20, 30 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I just would have been sitting there, just trying to put together the mythal, see what I can remember and my thoughts, trying to keep Sonder quiet, not quiet, but calm, like talking in the dark, you know, the whole buddy system thing. And then just paying attention for if my dog barks and for anything coming down the hall.
All right. Yeah, okay. So you wait for a couple moments, and then you hear a really low growl coming from the dog.
Sonder,
It's
are you
probably
right
about
next
like
to me, or did
35, 40 minutes in.
I'd be near you.
I'm just gonna grab your arm and point to you, message, don't move, don't do anything. I think something's coming. My dog's, he's growling. That means something's coming.
You hear it. You hear it again. You just hear low.
I'm gonna message again. Do you have message back to him? Do you have Melzalhar with you?
He's with the others, but the dog, it can see anything, even if it's invisible, stealth, or images. It sees true sight. So if there's something there, there's something there.
Will it attack if something tries to pass? Okay.
And when I will let you know when it does. But just
Make perception checks, both of you.
Alright. I'm going to begin to get my bow out and like point that direction. Perception.
14.
14. All right.
I got a 21.
21. From down the hallway, where you had set the dog, you can hear, aside from the growl, what sounds like the skittering of little paws or feet or claws, something moving that kind of echoes in the large expanses of this cavern slash tunnel entrance. You hear with it the little
Guys, could y'all hurry the fuck up? My dog's growling and we're hearing the tooth fairies. They're everywhere, the little chatterings. I'm not talking of the good tooth fairies. These are like the ones from like that weird. What is that damn movie?
I've seen that movie, The Tooth Fairy. Yeah, it's awful.
Mm-hmm.
Are we with like?
You're so. I mean, you can
wound
still
down
hear. I mean, you're able to hear each other through the spies murmur, but
it's
at
a
this
mile
point, you
radius.
guys, yeah. So you guys can hear them talking. You guys are already heading back down with some of the mages.
Okay.
Iskra, I think we have to like hurry up and go. So
Yeah. Hey, everyone, if you don't mind picking up the pace, I think we might have a problem.
Oh, that's
down
creepy,
here.
Aaron.
What? What are you talking about?
Uh-huh.
no.
It's Grimacy wrong.
too.
So I say that to everyone.
All right.
I'm just keeping, holding on to Saunders' arm and messaging him, keeping him updated.
And, I start moving more quickly. It's like, no,
All right.
really, like, I think we might lose the Mythal and our friends if we don't hurry.
They start kind of fast trotting down the stairs. You guys going down as quickly as possible.
Lips on a banana peel.
Jesus.
No, Mrs. Kindred.
You hear the dog growling again.
I'm gonna message. I'm bringing Mel's back, and I'm gonna bamf him back to me.
Mhm.
And
He like disappears from underneath my robes that he was like curled up in.
Yeah. You just feel the.
He was
the
so
strange. The strange. It's gone.
I
Sense.
message back. We're hurrying.
and
We've
he's
got
gonna
support.
pretty much like where he disappeared from you. He appears right there on me and like kind of peeks his head out from my neck. And
Does Melzar know the password? Can he say ashes? He's trying to keep the mood alight.
Yeah.
but
It says ashes and snake.
so I'm gonna.
You hear like the voices now sound like they are in this room itself. You hear the skittering up on what like the darkest corners of the roof.
How tall is the entrance that this is at?
The tunnel entrance itself.
Yeah,
It's
where the
probably
dog's
like probably a good 7 or 8 feet tall, at its tallest point.
The dog, if it passes through, the dog would alert you, right?
Yes, he would bark and he would attack. But they have to get close enough. But if these are up, and
you look up at this darkened ceiling is at least a good 20-25 feet high, where there's like you can see most of it is lit from the stone that's in the center, but there are still pockets of where there is like jagged rock that's sticking out that create these odd little shadows. And
that's creepy.
And in those shadows, it seems like you swear you see 2 little beady red eyes that kind of just blink momentarily at you from below the shadows, where they're just.
Hey, Alaquin.
Guys, how far away are y'all?
Yeah.
Do you have a luck with you?
I do. Yes.
How far away are y'all?
There's something here. It's not the lag.
Oh, okay.
You guys should hurry.
Well, yeah. Iskra and I are pretty much on our way right now. Yeah.
Hurry up because we're about to have to face something. And with that, I kind of kiss Malzahar on the top of his head, and you see his form and his colors change, and he goes from that emerald green to a weird pattern shaped, where is it at? And you see what looks like lightning streaks along his coloration now, and he's yellowish in tone as I cast Dragon's Breath on him.
All right.
And then I'm just gonna say, Sandra, just keep it, because we can see it, right?
See what?
Like we see the eyes.
You can see, like, every now and then it seems like there are different points where these little beady red eyes just kind of appear in the little shadows, and you count at least 4 or 5 points. Either whatever it is moving through the along the ceiling, or
There's
are
more than
multiple. Yeah.
How did they get through?
So as Iskra and I are like running down, like half out of breath, I like kind of like yell at, like, well, not yell out at Iskra, but Iskra, if you ever wanted to send a message to your family, I think Kidri could actually help. Just saying, because he can send messages to people, and I think it'd be really nice just to say hi to your family.
Like, do you think we're not gonna make it out of this? Is that why you're saying that?
No,
If I
I'm
live?
I'm just like I'm just saying, like, because I was thinking about it like a while back, sending a message to my dad Bolin, just saying that we're okay. It wasn't a mistake that we're here doing this. Just I don't know, just
don't let the asset die.
That's a really good idea. It's complicated with me. I'd have to think about what I tell them.
Well, yeah, I mean, just just a thought that we have someone in our party that can say I love you to our families, if we wanted to say that, obviously.
Yeah, you know how time worked a little differently for you, right? Though, when you said that you came to,
Here?
where we're from,
Yeah.
and back here.
Yeah.
I wonder how that would work for sending a message.
We'll have to find out whenever we get out of this.
You guys are killing me. My heart is just
You guys, as you're like going as quickly as you hit the door. Well, you don't hit the door, but you get to the door. Wham! Oh, there was a door there. Oops. You guys get to the door and like quickly like open it and head into the dungeon. You're now like making your way as quickly as you can. You have with you there are 3 mages and 2 knights that have gone down here with you. And you quickly, like, you have your torches out and you guys are having to lead them in the direction that you need to get there. Kindred and Sonder, you see those little eyes now. There are those multiples are now open now, all as one. And you see the eyes just like
big pair?
No. They're in different spots. Where you saw like there would be like one and then another and then another and then another. Now they are all just like looking at you, and you can count 5 pairs of eyes. From where in the shadows those little pairs of eyes are at, it disappears, and you see this little like tendril of smoke that just kind of goes.
Sonder, don't leave me.
Let's go back to back.
And don't stay by my side, because I can manifest anywhere if need be, but don't leave my side. And where's it going?
To the floor.
Can I perception
make a perception check?
Pointing
Sure.
towards that direction?
Sure. Make a perception check.
Ooh, 22.
22.
Yeah.
You watch as from each of those points where the eyes are located, there are tendrils of this black smoke that are now falling from the ceiling, and on 5 individual points in the room, you see the smoke like hit the ground and slowly apparate into these small, like kobolds that stand there, these red-skinned kobolds that just stand there staring at you, their eyes red as they just stare and stare.
As soon as I see them materialize on the floor, I'm going to use my action to Bamf Mal's in front of them. And for my bonus action, he's going to cast Dragon Spell.
Hold on.
15-foot code, lightning damage to everything. As I'm holding
You
onto
see-
Sarah.
Okay, so you see as they like start standing tall, their eyes glowing red, these long fanged canine teeth like lowering from their almost unnaturally unhinged jaws as they just lower and lower. Malzahar bamps forward and releases this blast of electric energy.
It is a Dex 17 saving throw for everyone in range.
Okay. This blast of electricity encompasses the entirety of the room. Dex 15, you said?
17.
17. 2. A failure. 11, a failure. 14, a failure. 23, a success. And 19, a success. So how much damage does this do?
Total damage is 12, so if they saved it, it's half.
Okay, this blast of lightning just arcs across the ground, and several of them they start they leap backwards. There was 2 that were kind of closest to you. The other 3 are spread far enough back that they are on the other side of the mythal, and this blast of electric energy strikes the crystalline rock, and you can see it just like.
I thought we were.
No, you were inside this room with the mythal.
So Iskra and I are outside, right? Safe,
yes,
right?
you're on.
Okay, cool. We're good, Iskra.
Because we had to go back out of that little room where Valak was keeping guard.
Valak was in the dungeon itself.
So he was still in the same room with the mythal?
No, he was not in that room at all. He was on the outside of the tunnel. Outside,
Yeah,
he's
that's where
outside
I
the
went
tunnel.
back. That's where I went back to, because I can only stay within 30 feet of my hound to keep him active. So I went to that point, and that's where I stayed, because I know single entrance, as far as I know, single entrance into the mythal.
Right. So you're on the outside of that single entrance into the mythal.
Yes.
There is no open spot large enough for your hound to be patrolling in that case, because the entrance to there's like a giant cave, and that cave leads into another section where remember the dinosaur from last time, the where I drew the map.
Oh yeah,
So-
because that hallway where Aloquin kind of went off on his own, and he started hearing
That was way off. That's off to the side.
Yeah, so at that area, that's where I had the hound. That way, warding in case anything from there came down.
Okay, so
And
then
then
you
I
guys were
stayed in
not
that
in the. No, that's why I was describing it with the light. You were in the mythal room.
Oh, and see, I heard it as like the light
No,
from it was still
no.
coming
You
out.
were in the mythal room.
Okay, I thought I was not in the mythal room.
So the lightning is striking this full-on area where
'Cause if I
the.
had known that, I would have not have cast it on the mythal. But
Did we die?
Hi guys.
So
no, because if I had known that, I definitely would have not have casted anything to hit the mythal.
Yeah,
I
'cause
thought we were out of the room.
I figured you were in the room because you were that was the closest area to protect. There's like the entrance to her like sanctum was a good 20 feet wide, or if not
like,
more. There's
Pull up
no
the dinosaur again.
Huh?
I'm like, pull up the dinosaur again. No.
I mean, I don't have. I erased it.
Just because I thought I had him positioned where Valak was guarding.
All right,
that
hold
alleyway.
on. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties on my behalf.
Just you supercharged it. It's fine.
Oh God.
You supercharge it to explode and
Yeah, because I'm
Minus
not.
5 minutes.
I had no way I'm gonna cast something and hit the mythal.
All right, so this is where you come from.
Is that our dinosaur?
Shut up.
Oh,
This is the best as I can get back to where the way it was at.
Lose the
But you
arms.
guys had
But
come
the
in
arm
here.
was down. Never mind.
Well, you guys are
To
the
be
worst.
fair, you did have arms last time.
It's
to be
because I
fair.
had drawn the holding cells on either side, but they're not relevant to this. So I just did the main entryway. There is the offshoot hallway that
That's where
Aliquin had
Aliquin
seen.
went down. So
Yes.
that's where I would place the hound.
But this is the pathway that goes to the mythal, and this was that area where, that was.
Yeah, I came out because I placed the hound to keep guard where Valak was, and then I just stay within 30 feet of my hound to keep him active, knowing that
Then you're gonna be out in the open here.
I would have went against like a wall or something just in darkness, knowing the hound's there. I would
Braden,
feel comfortable
go
with
to
that.
the brain of the dinosaur.
Yeah,
This.
Where I'm at,
yeah,
or at
like,
the-
and then 2 more to the right.
Okay.
So
Well, in this case,
my,
then your
my fault,
situation
I'm
is
sorry.
different.
your situation is much different and much worse. And we'll have
Oh,
to get
God.
back to that next week.
That's my fault. I'm sorry.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining. Hopefully, it was it was interesting enough for you to come back and check us out again next time.
I do know what I'm gonna summon next time too.
You just killed the party, dude. Good job.
All right. We'll see you next time, guys. Have a good night.
Oh no.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for all the new followers, and